Well, about to leave out from Home Depot with all this crap. Here's the goodies we got. A whole bunch of thin wall 4-inch PVC drain pipe. Got 8 caps. Some great stuff foam. We're gonna see how well we can fail. Alright you guys. Today we're working on trying to build a raft. A little PVC raft. Here we got our PVC. 4 10-foot sticks. And over here, we got our materials. Got some 4-inch PVC caps. Thin wall, just drain. 8 of those. We got some great stuff foam, because we don't want nothing leaking. And if we spring a leak on the river, guess what? We'll have one of them guys in the boat. And we got this guy. Some old paracord. Picked blue because it looked like it'd be cool against white. To secure the pipes to the raft with. Now what we got for our tubing, like I said, is this 4-inch PVC drain line. We're going to attempt to use this stuff. I don't know if it's going to work. I may have to wind up coming out here at the end and putting a little slant upwards on it so it doesn't want to dive. Because if it dives, then it's going to start pulling water up on top of itself. And I ain't tried this before, so I don't know how buoyant it's going to be. But here we go. Alright you guys, we're about to get started on this. We're going to take our handy dandy little jigsaw here, and we're going to cut the ends off of them so that the thin wall caps will fit both ends. Because let me show you something. On this PVC, this thin wall drain line, one end is flush, see? It's all the same size there. But the other end is tapered. Camera can barely see it, but the other end is tapered. That way 2 pieces can slide together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the jigsaw and we're gonna go eat the crap on it. We're gonna destroy it. No, we're just gonna cut the ends off of it. And that way the caps will fit. Goofy cap just won't go on there. Nah. Die! Nah. Actually, we're gonna go around it with a pencil so that it darkens up the line. And we're gonna draw a line around it so we'll have a good true line. And we're gonna cut it so it'll be straight. We don't want it to leak. This is going in the water. Alright now, as you guys can see here, I've gone ahead and come down to the low point and cut out. I just came down the middle with the jigsaw like so, and then I just cut out a triangle so that I can turn my jigsaw sideways without just flat destroying the pipe. Alright now, since Dum Dum can't keep up with a contractor's pencil, I own like 50 of those guys. I'm just going to follow the low point. You can't see it too well, but I can feel it. And I can feel it in the saw blade, the way it cuts. It's going to want to try to turn away from the high point if it starts to climb the hill. That way I'll know that I'm coming up the hill and making a crooked cut. It won't really matter that much anyway, because I'm going to take the sander and sand the edge of it before I put the cap on. And as you can see, the cap's about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So it's going to come a little ways down on the pipe, so it'll cover up some imperfection. And not to mention, we're going to take some of this here great stuff foam, and we're going to go around on the inside of it before I put the cap on. I'm going to leave them openable in case there's ever a crack or a leak, so it's easy to patch. And that foam will just make it to where I can open them up and fix them instead of having to completely replace an entire tube if I need to service one. More power tools equals more destruction. We got the handy dandy sander out. I went ahead and cut the end off of the tube here. As you can see, a beautifully crooked, jagged, serrated knife edge cut. So perfect. As you can see, there's a little bit of wobble to the end. See? She's not too true. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the handy dandy sander, turn it on, and go nuts. And that just makes the end of it nice and smooth. That way the cap, which we have right here, will slide up on there. See? Beautiful. I'll be right back. I'm going to do all the others. I don't figure y'all want to see all that. Little steps. But we're going to do all 4 of these tubes the same way. I like how I go dark in the daytime. But I'm going to take the other tubes and do them the same way and get the caps on them, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so we have the 4 pieces of pipe cut. Now, you can tell that the caps slide right on and pop off. But before we put the caps on, I want to go around the inside of the pipe here at the very end. Help if I point the camera at what I'm trying to film. We're going to go around the tops here on the inside and spray some foam just to make it, may increase the buoyancy, I don't know, but it should make it a little bit more easily serviceable. What I got here is Great Stuff foam. I'm not endorsing this product or even recommending it. It's just what happened to be. I got a good deal on it over at my local store. They're not sponsoring this video or paying me anything. It's not a review. It's just, it's foam. It's foam in a can. There's a lot of brands. Pick your favorite. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open it up, and then we're going to go around the inside edge of the pipe and along the top edge. And we're just going to put a little bit of that. Maybe a smart aleck piece of grass that wants to be in there anyway. Not really. Right, I'll be back once I get this set up. Alright, you guys, I did one off camera just to see how it would work and what was going to be my best approach. And I think I've got it figured out now. Of course, there's always room for an epic fail. So we're going to grab another cap here and go ahead and try another one. What I'm going to do here, just to keep it out of the grass, is I'm going to prop it up on top of another piece of tubing, and of course there's a smart aleck piece of grass trying to get in there. Anyway, this stuff loves to foam up on the end of the tube. It makes a mess. Just a word of caution, whenever you're using this stuff, make sure you're in a well-ventilated space and you have cleanup materials nearby. Don't ask me how I know. The ventilated space, you need it because there's supposed to be some sort of fumes in there that you don't want to breathe or something. Evidently, if you can't get oxygen to your lungs, then you die or something like that. Alright, I'm going to set the camera down for a moment while I adjust this. I'm holding the camera handheld instead of leaving it on a tripod, just so I can give y'all a up close picture of how this happens. Now, you just want to go around the inside edge of the tube here. Try to get it to overlap onto the edge a little bit. It'll try to fall off, but that's alright if a little bit of foam decides it wants to be inside. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, it's just foam. And the cap will keep the foam from being able to contaminate any water or local ecosystems. Now, one thing that's different from the original plan is that I've decided to go around the inside edge of the cap just to help it seal a little bit. Kind of makes a gasket. And before it expands all the way, we're going to take that and slide it over the end of the piece of tubing. Like so. Kind of difficult to do one-handed, but the ground will help hold the other end. Push it down a few times. And since this is not PVC glue, I'm not going to twist it because I don't want to tear the foam. Because it goes ahead and gets kind of gummy pretty quick. And I don't know how it would react to being torn. Now this foam does create a pretty tough seal. But the cap can still be taken off in the event of necessity for service. I will remember how to English here in a minute. Maybe. That's probably a lie. And I'm just going to go ahead and do all the rest of them. Do the other two on this end. And then do the other end. So, here we go. Check out that sky. Ain't that pretty? It's a beautiful day. Sun right through the middle of the trees. And I have pipe. I have pipe. Oh no! Stuck inside the pipe! Let me out! Alright, here they are with their caps installed. This is basically how they'll be oriented on the raft. And there's one of those. Say hey. That's Arrow. But here they are with their caps installed. This is the front side. Now, one thing I did different on the front compared to the back. Let's see if that cap will come off pretty easy. That's a test that needs to be done anyway. They will have to be forced off, it looks like. So that's actually a good thing. Because that means they probably sealed up pretty good. And if I have any issues with them, then I may go in the middle somewhere at the top and drill some holes and spray foam into them. Just to give them a little better buoyancy in case of a leak. But there they are. Alright guys, I've laid them out. Just cut some 2x4s into 4-foot pieces and sanded the ends of them so they'd be nice and smooth. Took some paracord and cinched them. All I did, well, let me start over here where I started at. Is I went underneath and tied a little slide knot and the string around that board. And then I just went under, over, under on that side, back up this side, over, back under, which comes out right here, and then it comes around, goes to the next one across there, and then it comes under, or comes over, under, and back over the other side, and around. And when I go around, it cinches it. And then you go to the next one, under, back out the other side, over, under, over, around to cinch, onto the next one. That way, as they try to float away from each other, they pull each other tighter. And keeps them nice and solid on the board, see? You don't move at all. And then I'm figuring out my seating right now. Right now I just got this board laid across here. See? And I got this old bench press seat in the middle. And right now I've kind of figured that that's probably going to be about my spacing. That way I can just sit right here. My feet can rest on that board or on the pipes or wherever. And that gives me a nice spot to sit. where I can still easily access the paddle on either side. Yep. So once I figure this out, I'll be back. We're gonna take her to the water and test her. And you notice I took the clippings that I cut off and put them between the tubes. That ensures even spacing. Got to use all the scraps. I mean, come on now. Can't leave no scraps wasted. There it is. It's in the water. Floating on its own without anybody on it. Let's see how buoyant it is once it gets out past some of these rocks. Oh yeah, that's nice and buoyant. Hell yeah. Let's find out. Alright, so what I figured out so far, yes, it floats on its own. And yes, it floats with a human on it. Freaking awesome. It floats against the current, but it floats. This is awesome. Yes!